Hey guys, welcome to Solo React Talk. Today I'm going to be reacting to Happy Missed the playlist for World of Warcraft cinematics and trailers. If you want to check out my previous reactions, I'm going to put the card right up top here. Just click on it and you can access those previous parts. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
As the terrible war against the Lich King continues, the proud defenders of Azeroth fight to secure a lasting peace. But there can be no peace when the world itself is devoured by rage. An ancient evil has risen, determined to shake Azeroth to its foundations. And the world will never be the same. As the elements battle for supremacy, Kalimdor and the Eastern Kingdoms have been transformed. Ancient lands have been torn asunder, unleashing widespread destruction. But newfound life has also awakened. New conflicts erupt as old enemies vie for control of the world's diminished resources. At the heart of the ocean, the maelstrom churns endlessly. Many islanders of the Great Sea have been driven from their homes, seeking sanctuary from the relentless upheaval. These scattered refugees find themselves shipwrecked upon the Lost Isles, locked in battle against an unfamiliar enemy. But in their hour of greatest need, the goblins of Kazan have found new allies in the Horde. As destruction engulfs the far corners of the world, the Greymane Wall, the fortified entrance to the human kingdom of Gilneas, has been shattered. Yet, those who were once human have become something more. As the vile Forsaken march south into Gilneas, an ancient ally resurfaces to bring the savage Worgen into the Alliance. As the world teeters on the brink, and the mortal struggle for dominance turns to one of mere survival, the world's champions have adapted to new paths of glory. Standing lent against those who would devour civilization. And venturing boldly into the unearthed, forgotten bastions of antiquity. Has been broken. A new age has begun. The Alliance and Horde can only cling to hope. Deathwing has returned.
Okay, World of Warcraft Cataclysm. Deathwing has returned. Um, they are still fighting the Lich King, right? During this time. That means Arthas is still on the throne and fighting against the Alliance and the Horde. And meanwhile, it seems that the Forsaken are also fighting against another human kingdom. What are they called? Gilneas. And there's werewolves in Gilneas. I don't know how they were made. I don't think the trailer told us that. You know, how they became cursed with werewolf. What is it called? The curse of becoming a werewolf? I forgot. You guys can tell me. I forgot. Um, uh, there's what are they called? Goblins. Yes, goblins are in alliance with orcs. But truth be told, they kind of look like they're related. You know, they're both green. They both have these big ears, and the facial structure kind of looks the same. So yeah, I think that was going to be obvious that would be together. And yeah, there's no peace. Obviously, there's going to be a new battle. I think Deathwing came at the right time when everybody is fighting against everybody else and when everybody is exhausted from battling the Lich King at the right time. At the right time. Okay, let's continue.
Citizen of Azeroth, behold.
Okay, that was nice. I like the soundtracks they used here. It sounds like epic music, you know. Uh, it's like a genre of music that we use for videos and for action videos, for mystical and magical and what else? Like sci-fi TV shows or movies. So yeah, I like that kind of music. It's cool. I'm gonna look for it after watching this. Well, probably I might use them for, you know, future projects with World of Warcraft. I don't know, like an introduction kind of thing. I don't know. I'll see what I do with it. Maps look great. The maps look excellent. I wonder, do they also incorporate maps from the Lich King gameplay? I'm wondering, do you guys still play on those maps as well as these newer maps that are being shown in Cataclysm? You guys can tell me. Okay, let's continue. Okay, okay. Deathwing looks frightening. At first I thought the word, well, I don't know exactly what those people were doing. Because at first I thought they were trying to incarcerate him, but then it looked like they were putting like plasters, like metal cast plasters on his body part, somewhere. I don't know, like trying to keep him together into one piece or something. I don't know. I don't know. And who were those people, anyways, who were helping him, mend his wounds that he has around his body? And why did they do it? Because now he's free and he's burning everything under his wings. That's actually kind of cool, though. He just flies past, burns everything as he flies. He doesn't have to land, or he doesn't have to spit fire on the land. He just has to fly, and everything catches fire. So that was cool. And the tidal wave, I don't know where did that come from, unless he made it somehow. Maybe he has more powers than he just presents. Um, so yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Can't wait to see more. Let's continue.
Led by their indomitable king, Gen Greymane, the proud citizens of Gilneas once stood with the Alliance against the vile orcish horde that sought to conquer all of Lordaeron. Gilneas survived, but in the chaotic years following the Second War, the mighty kingdom drew ever inward. Distrustful of their former allies, the Gilneans erected a mighty wall at the borders of their land, closing off their nation and their hearts from an ever-darkening world. Now, many years later, as the seemingly unstoppable undead scourge marches across Lordaeron. Human civilization once again teeters on the brink of destruction. As war and terror close in all around them, the citizens of Gilneas are faced with one terrible truth. Their mighty wall cannot hold back the dead for much longer. And worse, rumors of a new threat have arisen within the kingdom's borders, of feral nightmare creatures that walk upright as men, but hunt and howl as wolves.
Okay, from that introduction of Gilneas, I still haven't been told how the werewolves were created. We still don't really know why the Forsaken are also attacking. Maybe you guys can tell me, you know, what's going on with Gilneas and why is it that there's this curse and why the Forsaken are attacking the city now. Yeah, I just want to know.
Unchecked until we found you. They've kept you alive because they still believe you could be saved. To which I must ask, is there even a shred of humanity left within you? Soon enough.
Okay, well, the werewolves are cursed with this feral mindset, you know, anything that moves, you attack it, you eat it if you can or if you want to. In the trailer, the first one, they said that an old ally came to Gilneas and helped the werewolves, and thus they called themselves the Worgen. I hope I'm getting it right like that. I don't know. I'm assuming that's how it's gonna plan out. And the citizens of Gilneas, they wear attire that I was not expecting. They look like they come from the 19th century. They look like, yeah, they look like they come from the 19th century Britain, you know, with the big hats, the glasses, the coats, even the city. It's so murky and smoky and miserable looking. I'm not saying that Britain was miserable looking in the 19th century, but you know, during the Industrial Revolution, there was a lot of coal power and steam power, you know, factories and all that stuff that made a lot of smog, and you know, you know what happens in cities that have got that kind of carbon dioxide, excessive carbon dioxide emissions. You know what happens. So yeah, let's continue.
The wily, cunning goblins of Kazan have lived in relative peace for generations. Though some of their race sided with the marauding orcs during the Second War, most goblins have remained neutral throughout the various conflicts between the Alliance and Horde. Ruled over by corrupt yet highly affluent trade princes, the goblins created a virtual paradise for themselves throughout the islands of the South Seas. Their ingenious feats of engineering and vast trade fleets helped make their island capital of Kazan one of the great technological wonders of the world. But now, as the elements themselves rise up in anger across the world, the goblins' mechanical paradise will be put to the test. For very soon, fate will force them to choose sides in a conflict that will shape the very history of the world.
Okay, the goblins. Can I just say this? The goblins, the dwarves, and the gnomes are the three most advanced races in Azeroth. Yet, they are not the ones who are leading the planet, you know? It's only the orcs and the Alliance, the Horde, I should say, the Horde and the Alliance that are leading. No, not orcs and the not the Horde and the Alliance, but the orcs and the humans. Yes, orcs and humans and also elves are leading the world. When I think personally, I think it should be the goblins, the dwarves, and the gnomes. They are the technically, advanced civilizations of Azeroth. They have economy, they have commerce, they have trade, and all that stuff. So I just don't understand that why is it that humans and the orcs and elves are leading? I mean, when you compare the civilizations, they kind of look like they're still living in villages and tribal settings and stuff like that, while the dwarves and the gnomes and the golems are having metropolises, you know. So I just find it quite strange. I don't know, maybe you guys can explain to me, or you agree with me or you disagree with me. You guys can also tell me in the comments.
Unless you're the new groundskeeper, I don't have time to talk to you. Get down in the hole, you worthless This is all your fault. We were supposed to have these stupid slaves to Kalimdor days ago. I'm not taking the fall for this one. You're the one who got us lost. What does it matter? Gallywix is gonna have both our heads. Shh! Did you hear that?
Captain, who are they?
It doesn't matter. Our orders are to capture the Horde target at all costs. Let our witnesses.
Abandon ship! Make for the escape pod! Let us out! Don't leave us down here! Please! Don't leave us! Come back! No!
The goblins and the orcs both deal with slave trading, right? So yeah, definitely they are meant for each other. Their alliance will be very strong. I can already see another similarity that they share. And like I said about their technology, like their escape pods literally go into the air and they fly with steam powered rockets. So I'm still with that decision of mine.
Empowered by the holy light and the undying strength of their convictions, the Draenei led the charge against the demonic Burning Legion in Outland. Now, with the Legion's defeat, they have completed the desperate mission that first brought them to Azeroth. Though some Draenei were sent back to Outland to revitalize their former civilization, the majority have vowed to remain and uphold their sacred commitment to the Alliance. Driven by a powerful vision, the immortal prophet Velen believes that a great war between the darkness and the light is fast approaching, and that Azeroth will be its principal battleground. As one of Velen's chosen, you must stand bravely before the shadow and ensure that your people are ready for the war to come. The past...
Okay, the Draenei are still here. I didn't know the Burning Legion could be defeated. You know, I thought like they would always be able to return. You know, you could always beat them, but you could never actually really win the war against them. I didn't expect that. But anyways, they've secured their victory. Some of them are returning home. Some of them are staying for a future battle. Probably it's the battle against Deathwing. And yeah, let's continue.
Few years have seen unprecedented changes within the eternal land of Quel'Thalas. The Blood Elves, following the will of their crazed leader, Kael'thas Sunstrider, channeled dangerous, chaotic magics to transform their sacred Sunwell into a gateway of unspeakable evil. While Kael'thas and his demonic masters were eventually defeated, a different kind of transformation occurred within the Sunwell itself, as a dying Naru sacrificed its life essence to reignite the Sunwell into a fount of holy energy. Now, the Blood Elf Regent Lorthamar Theron sees a new hope on the horizon for his people. Over time, the Sunwell's light could cure the Blood Elves of their cursed state. But many still cling to the arcane powers they procured and are hesitant to relinquish them. As one of the remaining Blood Elves, you must fight to protect Quel'Thalas and help redeem the soul of your ancient people. Emboldened by the...
I like the fact that the Blood Elves are trying to revert back to what they used to be before they became these magical vampires, if I could say that. And that prince that they used to follow when the Sunwell was corrupted, I wonder what happened to him. Who killed him exactly, or who destroyed him? I remember he was working with Illidan, and they had a fallout, and he decided to take his own path. After that, I don't remember, or I didn't see what happened to him. Like, I don't think there were any cinematics or trailers that discussed what happened to this prince of the Blood Elves. So yeah.
Return of their heroic king, Varian Wrynn, the proud humans of Stormwind led the Alliance to victory in its war against the dreaded Lich King. While successful, the campaign in Northrend proved costly, and the humans now seek to bolster their strategic holdings throughout the world. Under Varian's daring leadership, humanity now braces itself for a renewed conflict with its perennial enemy, the Horde. Yet, as the great Cataclysm rips across the world, familiar threats have once again arisen closer to home. It now falls to you to defend the kingdom and uphold the honor of humanity.
Humanity. Stormwind, in particular. I don't think they'll ever stop fighting the orcs. There'll always be a reason to fight the orcs. You know, it can be either land, it can be politics, it can be magic, or I don't know, anything. It can be anything. There'll always be a reason for them to be fighting. And yeah, even when they're exhausted from fighting against the Lich King and there's the Cataclysm upon the horizon, they're still going to be fighting against the orcs. You know, the traditional enemy. There's no better fight than that one. Fighting your traditional enemy. Okay, let's continue.
The Great Cataclysm has shattered more than just the world. War Chief Thrall, arguably the most powerful living shaman, has left his people behind so that he might stop the Cataclysm at its source. Yet, in his absence, the Orc champion Garrosh Hellscream has become the Horde's new war chief. Though popular amongst the Orcs for his victories against the Lich King, Garrosh's reckless leadership has begun to cause a rift between himself and the other leaders of the Horde. With Durotar's natural resources nearly depleted, Garrosh seeks to take whatever his people need to survive, regardless of who stands in his way. A dangerous new era for the Horde has dawned, and it falls to brave Orcs like you to uphold the will of the new war chief and assure the dominance of your great change.
Okay, so there's a new leadership in the Orcs' homeland, in the Horde, I mean. And Garrosh is not particularly liked, I think, by everybody. He's a, what do they call such people? A brandfire leader? I don't know. A very charismatic. Can I say that? A charismatic leader? I don't know. I don't know anything about Garrosh, but from what I could hear from this trailer, it sounds like he's someone who doesn't take no. He sounds like someone who's a true fighter. He's a war hero from battling against the Lich King. So yeah, very charismatic, dictatorial chief of the Horde. Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Has come to the enduring halls of Ironforge. Obsessed with the workings of the Titans, the dwarves retrieved their creator's mystical tablets from the fabled city of Ulduar. Activating one such tablet, King Magni Bronzebeard fell prey to a terrible curse that fused his statue-like form into the diamond heart of Ironforge itself. To compound this tragedy, Magni's estranged daughter Moira arrived, claiming her father's throne for herself and for her infant Dark Iron son. To avert civil war, the dwarves created the Council of Three Hammers, an uneasy coalition that would share power equally amongst the clans. Now, with political upheaval rising within the kingdom and the great cataclysm ravaging the surrounding lands, the future of Ironforge falls to brave dwarves like you.
Okay, so the dwarves are having a protracted civil war, if I could say that. For some reason, they don't want to legitimize the rights of the princess of the former king, of the deceased king, her right to be queen and her son to be the next heir to the throne, even though he, what did they say, he's cursed by darkness or something? I don't know, I forgot. But what does that matter? Isn't she like the rightful heir to the throne? So I don't understand why would they want to fight for that. But I guess maybe this king was in the way for these people, you know, people in the back, people we don't even see, you know, the third force, if I could call them that wanted power, and they had to get rid of the king, and they did. But to their surprise, now the princess is back and she's like, oh, I'm here to take the throne. And then probably people were like, no, we can't have this lady take the throne. We can't let this lady with her child that's cursed with darkness to become our heir to the Dwarven kingdom. So here we are with the Council of Three Hammers. I think that's what they called it. It's a power sharing deal that is doomed for failure, I think. I don't know. Such things never really work out in the real world, and probably also in World of Warcraft. There has to be a victor and there has to be a loser. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Dwarven Kingdom. Let's continue.
Though Lady Sylvanas and her Forsaken finally took vengeance upon their hated enemy, the Lich King, their dark crusade in Northrend proved costly. Betrayed by Grand Apothecary Putris at the Battle of Wrathgate, the Forsaken's devious plague of death was unleashed upon both the Alliance and the Horde to calamitous effect. Unbeknownst to Sylvanas, Putrus and his demonic ally, Veramathras, had taken control of the Undercity. As a result, the Forsaken were wrongly blamed for the traitor's atrocities. Though the Undercity was eventually retaken, Sylvanas and her followers still bear the weight of Putrus' sins. Mistrusted by the other members of the Horde, the Forsaken must now prove their loyalty to the cause and redeem themselves from their supposed treachery. To this end, Sylvanas has bolstered her defenses within the Tirisfal Glades and readied her undead forces for any contingency. As one of the Forsaken, you must use your cunning and viciousness to slay any who would pose a threat to Sylvanas' rule, be they human, undead, or otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, so the Battle of Wrathgate, or the battle at Wrathgate, was not instigated by Sylvanas. It was instigated by a faction within the Forsaken, led by someone called Putrus. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm actually happy because, you know, when I watched that trailer or that cinematic, the Battle of Wrathgate, I was celebrating that the Forsaken were winning, but then they attacked their own allies, the Horde. So I felt kind of like, oh, maybe that was a mistake that she shouldn't have done. But now they're telling us that it wasn't actually her; it was someone else, a different faction of the Forsaken who betrayed Sylvanas and started doing these, you know, rogue kind of situations all by themselves. So yeah, my queen is innocent. I'm happy. Let's continue.
Given the recent political upheaval in Ironforge, the gnomes have suddenly found themselves unwelcomed guests within the city. Leveraging their ingenious technologies and unquenchable spirit for adventure, the gnomes have begun to reevaluate their role within Cosmodan. Under the inventive leadership of High Tinker Gelbin Mekatork, the gnomes now plan a daring campaign against the barbarous Trogs to retake their former capital of Gnomrigon. With the odds stacked against them, the gnomes are counting on brave heroes such as you to stand and be counted. Your people's greatest hour draws near.
Okay, while the gnomes have outstayed their welcome in the Dwarven Kingdom, the dwarves, as I said before, they're in civil war, and they have no business being there anymore, and they want to reclaim their homeland, which is very good. But they've been saying this for a very long time, that they've been wanting to reclaim their abandoned or, you know, lost city. I think it was even before the cinematics for the Lich King. I think it was in part 2 that I watched a trailer that was talking about the gnomes having left their homeland because they were attacked by someone. I can't remember how it went, but it's been a very long time. It's been a very, very long time for the gnomes being stuck in the Dwarven Kingdom lands. So yeah, I'm happy for them that they're trying to reclaim what's theirs, and let's hope they succeed this time. Okay.
Exiled years ago from their lands in Stranglethorn Vale, the dark-speared trolls attempted to make a new life for themselves amongst the disparate races of the Horde. Under the leadership of the noble war chief Thrall, Vol'jin and his savage trolls had at last found the honor and purpose they had been searching for. But now, under the rule of the headstrong Garrosh Hellscream, the trolls fear that the Horde could tear itself apart. Vol'jin knows that whatever threats loom ahead, whether they be from within the Horde or from without, it is cunning trolls like you who will fight to preserve the honor of the Horde. After years...
Okay, the trolls, I think they're stuck in a hard and a rock place. Like, they're in between. They can't really leave the Horde, because if they do, they will be attacked by the Alliance, I think, you know. And if they stay in the Horde, they're being led under the oppression of what's his name? The orc leader, Galmash? Yeah, Galmash. So it's tough for them. It's really tough for them.
Imprisonment within the Emerald Nightmare, Archdruid Malfurion Stormrage has finally returned to the mortal world. Reunited with his love, Tyrande Whisperwind, Malfurion endeavors now to heal the corrupted world tree Teldrassil and rejuvenate the spirit of the Night Elf people. Yet as the great Cataclysm shakes the boughs of their colossal tree, the Night Elves brace themselves against the coming storm. As war and destruction close in from all sides, it falls to Night Elves like you to stand strong and protect the enduring legacy of your people.
Okay, the Night Elves are back. Kind of. The world tree is still giving issues, but I think they'll, figure all that stuff out. But they're also, I think they're still also, dealing with internal problems, and they don't have enough strength or the attention span to deal with things further outside. But, like they did say in the cinematic that, the enemy is encircling them all around them, and, they can't really escape what's coming in terms of the Cataclysm. So, yeah, I hope they also find success, just like the Blood Elves. Okay.
Tragedy has rocked the Tauren tribes and shaken their once stalwart devotion to the Horde. A disagreement between the new Orc war chief, Garrosh Hellscream, and the beloved Tauren chieftain, Cairn Bloodhoof, led to a duel that ended in Cairn's death. With his loss, the vile matriarch Magatha Grimtotem launched a murderous attack, attempting to seize control of Thunder Bluff for herself. However, Cairn's brave son, Bane Bloodhoof, successfully repelled the attack and banished the surviving Grimtotem to the farthest reaches of the land. Under Bane's hopeful leadership, the Tauren people now seek to heal their wounds and restore the balance between the various factions of the Horde. To this end, a new generation of Tauren Sunwalkers has arisen to lead their people into the light of a new dawn and the promise of rebirth. As a proud tribesman of Mulgore, you must uphold the honor of your people and safeguard the lands of your ancestors.
Oh, okay, that's it. Yeah, the Taurons also having the same issue like the trolls. They're stuck between a hard and a rock place. If they leave the Horde, they're going to have, civil war and infighting amongst each other, and it will result in probably the destruction of the civilization. If they stay in the Horde, they have to be led under the oppression of the new Orc chief, and chief of the Horde, in fact, I should say. So yeah, it's tough on them too. But yeah, I really don't feel much for the Horde and its member associates. I don't feel anything for these guys, but it's quite interesting to see what's going on in the Horde. They're also having their own political dynamics in there that's just messing everything. Yeah, I guess that's it, guys, for today. What I know for certain is that Deathwing came at the opportune time, when everybody is fighting amongst everybody, when everybody is still exhausted from fighting against the Lich King. He appears, and I wonder, will he succeed where the Lich King failed? But I guess I already know the answer, because the game is still here, and you guys aren't complaining saying that we can't defeat Deathwing, we can't beat him. So probably you guys beat him. I am just wondering how. Well, hopefully in the next part 8, I think, part 8 of my reactions, we can finally figure out what's going on with Deathwing and with the Alliance and the Horde. Okay, guys, until next time, remember to give me a like, comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and also comment. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.